Hey guys, welcome back. We got a fun little project today. We are going to transform our garage doors. We'd like to get new ones, but that's not in the cards right now. So we're going to try these two different products that we got off of Amazon and try to dress them up a little bit and turn them into carriage doors. We've got two different panels or two different sections. First one is from U-Road, and that is these magnetic squares that are kind of shiny. They're going to mimic the windows. And then we have this other product from Household Essentials Incorporated, and those are going to be just like brackets on the side and two handles for the center. So we're going to dress up the garage a little bit, see how it turns out, and I'll let you guys kind of give your own opinion on how you think it looks. We'll get those going. I've got a very specific measurement style that I'm going to show you how I do it to get these up, and then we'll give it a review and we'll tell you guys what we think about it when it's all done. All right, so let's get started. So we got to figure out the area in which we're going to be working. The doorway opening is about 16 feet wide, but we do have these arched areas, and we're going to put a line down on either side, and then measuring between ends up being 14 feet. The panel height is 18¼ inches. Now they came with 32 magnets. Each one of these is 6 1/8 inches by 4 inches. Now we are going to need 8 sections. So when we do the math on this, adding a 2-inch gap between each pane to create almost like a window pane, we know that the entire panel we're working with is going to be 14.25 inches by 10 inches. So now we have to do math to figure out what our spacing is going to be. Our total section that we're working with is 14 feet. So in inches, that's 168 inches. The panel covers 14.25 inches for each section, but we have 8 of those. So that's 114 inches. We subtract that, and that equals 54 inches. Now, because each panel is going to have an even gap on either side of it, we're going to need a total of 9 spaces. So that's going to come to 6 inches. Now we're going to create a template out of cardboard. So we know that each one of these squares is 6 1/8 inches wide. So what we're going to do is put 2 of those in here with a 2-inch gap. And we know 6 inches on either side between each section. So we're going to place the 6 inches here, and we're going to cut it out on either end of the 6 inches. So then this will be one panel that we'll be able to put up. Now the garage door panel that we're using is going to be 18¼ inches in height, and we know that the magnet section that we're creating is 10 inches. So we're going to subtract that, get 8¼ and we need to figure out where the top and bottom spacing is. So that spacing divided by 2 is 4 1/8. So we know from the bottom of the panel to our first square is going to be 4 1/8 inches. Now to give ourselves a guide, we're going to mark the garage door at 4 1/8 inch. Now that we got the height set, we're going to start using our template and get our magnetic rectangles up. Now that the bottom row is up, we got to make sure that it is properly spaced, and so we're going to double check it to make sure it's 4 1/8 inches from the base. Now because we've used our template to create the bottom, we know that the spacing is 2 inches apart. So we're going to do the same 2 inches above that first row to place our second panel row. Now they are magnets, so it's not permanent, so we're going to double check our work and make adjustments where necessary. Next, we're going to move on to our hinges. They got 3 strong magnets on the back, so we're going to find the proper spacing and put these up. Lastly is our handles. They're the same as the hinges. They've got magnets on the back. So we're going to find center of this panel. Find the length, divide it by 2, and that is where the handle is going to go in the center. Now we're going to space it about 6 inches from the lock and just try to make it look as even as possible. All right, guys, so that is it. We're all done. We got it all up. It started to fall into place once I got going. Once I started getting the measurements down right and getting into a rhythm, it just came together pretty quick. I would say that the template was a huge success, at least for getting everything spaced and started initially, rather than having to measure out with a ruler every single time and then try to level everything out. So my method worked really well. So if you're interested in doing something like this, I will leave everything in the description below. I will leave a link to everything for you. It's all on Amazon. It costs roughly about $40 for the whole set for a 2-car garage. Now, I didn't see, I might have to do a little bit more research. I didn't see if they had a 1-car garage version of this, so I might have to buy another 2-car version of this just to do our 1-car garage. But overall, I think it looks great. Leave a comment in the comment section if you like it and if you think there's anything I could change to make it look a little bit better. But that's really it for today. I think it turned out great. It gives some wonderful curb appeal from the street. Up close, you can tell it's magnets because really that's what it is. But at the end of the day, I think it looks pretty spectacular. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.